Kangaroos travel in mobs and have babies the size of jelly beans. This is what we're drawing this morning, a kangaroo with a joey in her pouch. They're marsupials, and like most land animals in Australia, they carry their young in a pouch. A group of kangaroos is called a mob, and that baby in the pouch is called a joey. They're one of the few Australian animals that are not actively trying to kill you. That does not mean that they do not want to, it just means they're not actively trying. The babies are born the size of jelly beans. A full-grown kangaroo can be almost the size of a grown man, and the baby comes out tiny, crawls through the fur on the mother's belly, and then makes its way into the pouch. Once in, it latches onto a nipple. The nipple swells inside the baby's mouth and keeps it locked in place for months while it develops. The fetal development has basically been moved to the outside of the mother's body. They also have a unique feature in their pregnancy. They can suspend it, not terminate it, suspend it. If there's an embryo developing and conditions are not right, they can put that embryo into a dormant state and wait until conditions improve. At the same time, a mother can have an embryo in the womb, a jelly bean baby in the pouch, and a toddler bouncing around outside. She changes her milk production based on who needs it, shifting production depending on the age and stage of the juvenile. That is a successful breeding strategy. She always has one in the pipeline. That's part of why they're successful megafauna. Most megafauna are slow breeders with very specific diets and cycles, and they've been dying off for thousands of years. Kangaroos are not in that situation. They're thriving, even around human development. Australia has strong animal conservancy policies. Kangaroos are protected, and you cannot just shoot one without permits. If they're damaging property, relocation is attempted before lethal action. And because they live in mobs, you can't just relocate one, you have to relocate the whole family. They fight like boxers. In the 20s and 30s, they were even put into boxing competitions with humans because that's how they fight. They punch and bite, and when they lean back, they support themselves on their tail and kick. Their tendons are coiled at rest, ready to spring, similar to grasshoppers. That's convergent evolution, when the same kind of solution shows up in different animals in the same environment. Those coiled tendons really let their legs kick and fly when they jump. They share a lot of traits with emus also. They're plains animals with similar diets. They're both herbivores, but opportunistic omnivores. If there's a bug or a lizard available, they may chomp on it, especially when times are tough. But their primary diet is plant-based. They get most of their water from their food, and they rely on mob behavior and scattering to respond to predators. When a strategy works in an environment, you see more than one family of animals adopted. Kangaroos and emus are a clear example of that principle in action.